It's me. So right off the bat, this was inspired by the original Bunkie warning, by the way. That's the whole reason I included that intro. So, yeah, here we are, finally. Developer commentary on UNKYS.exe. As you can see, my version says version 1.2. Don't worry, it's not like an updated version. It's still the same version that you can get when you play the game normally. Like if you were to go to itch.io right now and get it, it's like version 1.1.1, but it's got all the same updates. Like I'm working on version 1.2. It's going to be a content update. It has a bunch of other stuff in it. But anyway, this is a dev commentary. This isn't about that. This is about playing through the game, talking about my thoughts as I'm playing it. And yeah, I'm just going to go through. I know people have been asking for this. I felt like it was just too soon because there weren't really many, I didn't see many people really playing this one. It is a $5 game, so it's not a free one like most of my others. And it was originally supposed to be made for the second Dave and Jay trilogy, which we canceled and instead ended up making our own individual games, which you see in UNKYS.exe and Worth It. Those two were going to be in this trilogy, and then there was going to be a third game that we both worked on at the same time, but we super demotivated. I'm still demotivated, like just working on this next update. So we out here, UNKYS.exe. Let's get started. Yeah, so right away, this update has a practice mode. I'm not going to be playing practice mode, and also in this dev commentary, I'm only going to be doing normal, hard, and nightmare versions of each playthrough. It might be a few episodes long, but yeah. All right, so I know it looks like a wall of text, but half of it, like 3/4 of it, is just the controls. So your objective is to escape the house. To do that, you have to find the tools you need inside the drawers and storage rooms. Once you gather all the tools you need, you'll be able to open the front door and escape via your truck. Don't forget your truck's keys. If Tunky spots you, you must quickly run into a room and shut the door behind you. It'll slow him down and usually save your life. That's very important. This is the only way to get away. You have to go into a room and shut the door behind you. It's the only way. So, the introduction screens are actually heavily based off of Dave's original games. Where, like down to like the word, basically. And, obviously there are Easter eggs hidden throughout the game, you know, like the update I'm planning on is it's gonna change a lot of stuff, because as of right now in the current build, every level has the same set of Easter eggs in it. Sorry, it's an inside joke. That's in all my games. Every one of my games almost has that toilet jump scare in it. So in case you guys are wondering, this is basically a 1-for-1 copy of Tunky.exe, the original patron exclusive game that I released, which I think I've done like 2 dev commentaries on. Look, it's me. But it's like a 1-for-1 copy. There are a bunch of random events I added to the Tunky map and all that stuff. I spruced it up. As you can see, the grass has new texture and everything, and it's nothing crazy fancy, but you know, it exists. So we out here. Also, Tunky is blind as a bat. I built this game and like all my games around like utilizing leaning and looking behind you mechanics, you know. So the difficulty has a lot to do with that. Like a lot of that in mind. Also, Grandpa. It's an inside joke between like between me and my wife about Links 4. That was a Links 4 Easter egg, by the way. Is one of the first videos I showed of Links 4 to my wife was one of his like grandpa videos, and that's literally a quote from it. But he keeps saying it like that, and it's so funny. Getting a lot of random events this playthrough. That's one of my favorite random events. But yeah, now we hang out like we know each other. Like him, his girlfriend, me, and my wife, we all hang out. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we out here beating Tunky.exe extremely fast. This is actually a really good time. So a lot of things have changed since the original version. When Tunky sees you, like base Tunky, like in there, not this Tunky, but used to, he'd immediately go up to his max run speed, which a lot of people and like the Let's Plays that you see. Oh. Excuse me. Anyway, in a lot of the Let's Plays you see, he immediately goes to his like max speed. Now he like gradually goes to his max speed. And he gets faster than the player. The only reason I had him start at that speed is because it basically guarantees that the player gets caught by him. You know, like it makes it not out of like, oh, I want to make this game really hard, but more out of like, I don't want the player to be locked in a loop of just running the AI around the map with that super loud chase music up the whole time, and it's not fun. I did not want that to happen. Also, if you turn your flashlight off, it's really easy to see Tunky here. You can literally see his light. This form of Tunky is called Tunky Untethered, by the way, because he's not held back by his like brutality. I guess I'll elaborate on that a little bit more as we go. Each Unky, as you're gonna find out, has like a different form that they gain as like sort of like a boss fight. And each Unky represents a specific fear, and each Unky I had like a specific like class in mind when I made them, or when I implemented them into the game. So, same controls as before. You were somehow able to escape Tunky's house of horror, but for how long? Probably forever, you thought. But that was not meant to be. Bunkie has found you. You must close and lock the door behind you in order to escape Bunkie. You never trust what you see. This is word for word, pretty much the introduction to Bunkie. Those rope sounds were like really hard to make. As you probably know, all my sounds are self-made. And yeah, good times. Always lock that door. Always. Always, always, always. That should be the first thing you do in the Bunkie map. But anyway, okay. So Bunkie's representations. I'm lagging a little bit. Or at least it feels like I am. So Unky's representations.
Howdy.
We have Tunky, who is supposed to represent the fear of loss, because Tunky is a big brute forcey guy. He's seen me. 1 second. I know it's loud. So Tunky is supposed to be a big brute force guy, you know? So he's supposed to represent the fear of loss, because you don't fear him because he's scary or because he's creepy, but you fear him because, you know, you don't want to lose everything. You don't want him to like, he's like the bully, you know? You don't want to lose all your progress. You don't want to lose your life, I guess. I don't know. It's the fear of loss. The fear of losing things. The fear of losing everything you've gained. And he's a big brute strong guy. Okay? So he's supposed to be like the warrior. And then you have Bunkie, who's supposed to be the fear of the unknown, which is pretty self-explanatory. People fear things they don't understand, etc. You have like we have like a primal fear of things that like a really good example of fear of the unknown, I guess, is Uncanny Valley, which is, I think it's the fear of anything that looks human but isn't quite human. So anyway, fear of the unknown is Bunkie, and he's more like a wizard, like smart guy. He, as you can tell, he shapeshifts. He can open doors without knocking them down, whereas Tunky just like he brute forces them and straight up knocks them down. He like Bunkie like unlocks them, and then when he transforms, as you're going to see, he turns into a big brute and gets all strong and stuff. So really, they're alternate forms. Like when they transform, are supposed to be like counterparts to themselves. They're supposed to be like opposites of what they usually are, which is kind of cool. I'm digging it. This playthrough doesn't have as many random events. There's one, speak of the devil. That random event's actually based off of a bug that I ran into when I played Bunkie, I think the first time I ever played it. Where, because in the original Bunkie, there's actually a form of Bunkie that that crawls on the ceilings instead of just roaming, and then there's another one. See, there's the roaming, there's the crawling on the ceiling, then there's the spider Bunkie, and they just roam the map like that. In this one, there's just the base Bunkie. right? Because I implement the form somewhere else. Like there's the ceiling crawler in there. And the reason I don't have the ceiling crawler roaming is because you can see there's dips in the ceiling. I didn't want him to like face through it, and I didn't feel like programming like a crawling over the dip in the ceiling animation, which would have been cool, but you know. Anyway, here's the thing, which is based off of an Easter egg in the original Bunkie that I don't think anybody's seen. I've never seen anybody see it. You literally have to go through walls to see it. There's no way to get to it. In this game, obviously, you can just walk through this wall. But it says, we'll hunt the human down and devour his flesh. We'll instill fear and make him pay. And in the original Bunkie, there is no Sunky or anything. So it just says, that we shall do at the bottom. This one says, we'll smother his hope and fill him with dread. I'm so laggy. Why am I so... I'm like dropping frames. Anyway. So yeah, Bunkie and Tunky both switch forms, and they both like kind of contrast their original. Like Tunky's form, he gets all fast. And he's not all brutal anymore. He just zooms. And this is Bunkie's like brute forcey form. Also, originally this was very unintuitive, like how to figure out like where to go and hide and stuff. Like I wanted to be a stealthy figure it out kind of thing. And like listen, use your senses, but it was too hard for a lot of people. A lot of people could not figure it out, and they ended up dying a billion times before finally getting it. And I had to give hints on some streams, blah blah blah. So I added these blood stains and the flies to kind of be like, you know what, just go here. So you can just like hide on the flies, basically, and be fine. Like right here, I'm just tucked into this little corner. And this is Bunkie Crazed, by the way. And this design is actually an original design by Dave that was scrapped from the game. You can actually go to his YouTube channel and you can see he has like scrapped stuff from Bunkie. Like he has a whole video showing scrapped stuff. So you walk through here, obviously need the truck keys to escape. And if you go through here, it actually spawns Spider Bunkie. See? And I'm gonna die. But it spawns Spider Bunkie, and not a lot of people realize that. Because they're just running for their lives or they just die. But luckily there's checkpoints, so they got blood and the flies. Easy peasy. Super easy now, I think, with the blood and like figuring it out. Like this part's so fast. I definitely updated the game a lot and changed it a lot after the initial update. A lot of people were complaining about it being difficult. Which is crazy, because this is probably the most user-friendly game I've ever made. I think, for sure. Like it's super user-friendly. And I'm still confident, even after having to patch this game, that this is the best game I've ever released, really. Like in regards to like quality, like original release quality. It's not my favorite game, but it's the best. It's for sure the best. All right. So anyway, you grab the keys, you go through here, you see a bunch of the spiders, and you just get out. This is also a play on the original ending from Bunkie. Oh, and the son of a bitch ending was the alternate ending from Bunkie when you played in with Tunky active. It zoomed out on Bunkie and Tunky outside of Bunkie's map. And they were like, son of a bitch. And I always thought that was funny, so I used that for the Tunky ending. So yeah, originally the spider section, the spider was so fast to where you had to lock the door behind you in order to get to the truck on time. But literally me, Dave, and Padre, all three of us, we tested the game and we were like, nobody's going to figure this out. Literally no one's going to figure this out. People are just going to be stuck there forever and they're never going to figure it out. So we decided against it. All right, so now we have the new one, Sunky, the game that was never created by Dave. Sunky is in Strange Terror from the Deep, but and this design is the same and everything. Sunky's design is the same, but never made a game. And it's funny because like when I was developing this game, I was talking to Dave through it because obviously they're remasters of his games. I was like, I'm making Sunky. And I was like, I'm planning on putting Sunky in a library. And he was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Because when I was going to make a Sunky game, I had originally planned to put her in a library. So it's awesome. It's very cool. I'm very happy with how this turned out. So you've escaped from Tunky and Bunkie, but it's not over yet. You head to the library and search of a way to get rid of the UNKYS once and for all. Man, I I didn't even realize the grammar was off there. Oops, I gotta fix that. And search for a way to get rid of the UNKYS once and for all. But Sunky has found you. How did I never notice that? Anyway, Sunky always knows where you are. Lock doors behind you to stop her, but don't leave the room until you know she's gone. If she catches you, then you must play hide and seek with her. Find her fast. Don't get caught too many times. Okay. I don't even know how to read. I don't know how to write. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't believe there's a grammar in my game. Anyway, Sunky map. I love this map a lot. And I haven't gone over like the Easter eggs or anything at all, but it's fine. It is what it is. So we out here. Obviously there's secrets. I'm not going to get the alternate endings or anything. I'm just going to go through and play the game. So in the original game, Sunky could possibly... So Sunky basically just stalks the player is what happens. Sunky will hang out around corners. Random event. It's my favorite random event in the game. Sunky will hide out around corners. Sunky will always follow you. You can't see her until you're up on her. And in the original game, it used to, she would spawn on top of you, but see right now, she's like hiding around that corner. There are two ways. Either she can see you, which I'm too far for her to see me now. If I go a little closer, she'll probably see me. Or there's a small hitbox around her that if you step on, she'll start chasing you. So I split, like originally she could possibly spawn like on top of you or like next to the player. So like if I was running around this corner right now, she would spawn like if the mist spawned there, she would spawn there. But now I base the game on quadrants. So if a player is in a certain section of the map, Sunky will not spawn in that section. She'll always spawn in a different section of the map. So super cool. Super cool update to avoid super cool bullshit. I really like how these stairwells turned out. I've always been bad at stairwells. I've always hated doing stairwells, but these stairwells turned out really, really good. They look a lot like SCP-087, I think it is. And I am very happy with that. What am I doing? Yeah, okay. They turn out looking a lot like SCP-087, I think is the staircase one. And I am happy with that. Yeah, exactly. And it was actually one of my original teaser screenshots in my because I was trying to tease Sunky without teasing Sunky. You know what I mean? Like I wanted people to know that like in my Discord server I was teasing this game, and I originally was like, okay, Sunky is in the game, but I don't want people to know like exactly that Sunky is in the game. I want them to just kind of like guess. Oh yeah. Sass. Oh, so can I not get the... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I wanted them to like be able to guess that Sunky's in the game, but not know explicitly that Sunky's in the game. So I had like screenshots from this map, and the stairwell was one of them. All right, so we got some hide and seek. You don't see it here, but Sunky's mechanic is if she catches you, she doesn't kill you. Instead, you play hide and seek with her. Sunky is a lot easier to handle now by herself. But of course, I've tested the absolute shit out of this game. And of course, I made it. So, like, it's a joke to me. I know, like, all her spawn points, everything, so... And that's one thing about making games that I can't stress enough, dude. I can't stress enough. Get testers. Get people to play your game before you release it. Somebody will play it. Get people to play your game before you release it, and they will. They will. Somebody will do it. And watch them. Don't just ask them how it was. Get them in a voice call or something. Watch them play it. Don't give them hints. Just write things down and nod when they talk. Just play, yeah, okay, yeah. And just make notes. Try to make things as intuitive as... Because then you get to see like how they react to certain situations, even if they don't realize that they reacted that way, you know? All right, so now we have normal and hard mode, but you know what? Or we have hard mode unlocked and everything. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and end it here. This is probably going to be a 3-parter. I'm not going to lie. Of UNKYS.exe dev commentary. I don't want to spoil too much of this game. I really don't. I'm going to talk about it as I go, but I want a lot more people to play it because I'm really proud of this one. So yeah, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Stay tuned for a part 2. I don't know when I'm going to do it. or when I'm going to upload. I'm probably going to record it today. It might be soon, it might not be soon, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.